The roots of World War II can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I. After the First World War ended in 1918, the Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919. This treaty placed heavy penalties on Germany. The country was forced to pay huge reparations, reduce its military strength, and give up important territories. These harsh conditions caused economic collapse and widespread anger among the German population. Many Germans felt humiliated and wanted to restore their nation's power and pride. During this period of frustration and economic crisis, Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany. He became the leader of the Nazi Party and promised to rebuild Germany's economy, strengthen its military, and restore national pride. Hitler believed in extreme nationalism. World War II was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945 and is considered one of the most significant and devastating events in human history. It involved most of the world's nations, including major powers divided into two military alliances known as the Allies and the Axis. This war not only reshaped political boundaries but also changed economic systems, military strategies, and international relationships across the globe. The roots of World War II can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I after the First World War ended in 1918. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919. This treaty placed heavy penalties on Germany. The country was forced to pay huge reparations, reduce its military strength, and give up important territories. These harsh conditions caused economic collapse and widespread anger among the German population. Many Germans felt humiliated and wanted to restore their nation's power and pride. During this period of frustration and economic crisis, Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany. He became the leader of the Nazi Party and promised to rebuild Germany's economy, strengthen its military, and restore national pride. Hitler believed in extreme nationalism and expansion. He wanted Germany to control more land and believed that certain groups of people were superior to others. His leadership gained massive public support because he offered hope during a time of poverty and unemployment. Hitler began expanding Germany's territory by taking control of neighboring regions. In 1938, Germany annexed Austria and later occupied Czechoslovakia. Many countries in Europe initially tried to avoid another war by allowing some of Hitler's demands, hoping he would stop expanding. However, this strategy failed. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland using a powerful military strategy that involves fast-moving troops, tanks, and aircraft. This invasion led Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the official beginning of World War II. As the war progressed, Germany formed alliances with Italy and Japan, creating the Axis powers. Italy, under the leadership of Benito Mussolini, wanted to rebuild a powerful empire similar to ancient Rome. Japan aimed to expand its influence across Asia and the Pacific region. Together, these countries sought to increase their power through military conquest. On the other side, the Allied powers included Britain, France, the Soviet Union, China, and later the United States. In the early years of the war, the Axis powers achieved rapid victories. Germany conquered large parts of Europe, including France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. The German military was highly organized and used advanced strategies that overwhelmed many countries. Meanwhile, Japan expanded across East Asia and attacked several territories. One of the most important turning points of the war occurred on December 7, 1941, when Japan attacked the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. This attack forced the United States to officially join the war, significantly strengthening the Allied forces. Once the United States entered the war, the balance of power slowly began to change. The Allied powers launched major counterattacks across different regions. In Europe, the Soviet Union played a crucial role by resisting German forces in the brutal Battle of Stalingrad. This battle is widely considered one of the most decisive moments of the war because it weakened Germany's military strength and forced its troops to retreat. Another major turning point occurred on June 6, 1944, known as D-Day. Allied forces launched a massive invasion of German-occupied France by landing troops on the beaches of Normandy. This operation involved soldiers from multiple countries working together to push German forces back. The success of this invasion allowed Allied troops to advance deeper into Europe and eventually reach Germany. While the war in Europe was reaching its final stages, intense fighting continued in the Pacific region between the United States and Japan. The battles in the Pacific were extremely challenging due to difficult terrain and strong resistance. In 1945, the United States used a new and powerful weapon called the atomic bomb. These bombs were dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The destruction caused by these bombs forced Japan to surrender, bringing an end to World War II in September 1945. The impact of World War II was enormous and long lasting. Millions of soldiers and civilians lost their lives, and many cities were destroyed. The war led to major political changes around the world. Germany was divided into separate regions, and new superpowers such as the United States and the Soviet Union emerged. These two countries later became rivals, leading to a period known as the Cold War. World War II also led to the creation of the United Nations, an international organization established to promote peace and cooperation among nations. Countries realized the importance of working together to prevent future global conflicts. The war accelerated technological and scientific advancements, including developments in aviation, medicine, and communication. Another significant result of the war was the independence movements in many colonies around the world. European powers that had controlled colonies in Asia and Africa became weaker after the war. As a result, many nations began demanding independence and eventually gained freedom from colonial rule. This shift reshaped global politics and created many new countries. The war also changed the role of women in society. During the conflict, many women worked in factories, hospitals, and other essential services, while men were fighting on the battlefield. After the war, women continued to demand equal opportunities and rights, which influenced social change in many countries. World War II remains one of the most studied events in history because it demonstrated both the destructive power of conflict and the importance of international cooperation. It showed how political decisions, economic problems, and extreme ideologies could lead to global disaster. At the same time, it highlighted human resilience, bravery, and the ability of nations to rebuild after tragedy. The lessons learned from World War II continue to influence global relations and policies today. Many countries maintain strong alliances and diplomatic relationships to prevent similar conflicts from happening again. The war serves as a reminder of the importance of peace, unity, and understanding among nations. It stands as a powerful example of how a single conflict can transform the world and shape the future of generations to come.